Hello, everyone. Here we go. I'm gonna wait a couple of seconds to see if anybody joins live, but if not, that's okay as well. It's my first time ever streaming with StreamYard, so I must say that I'm very, very intrigued to see how it's gonna work out. So far, it has been a very easy process to set up, so that's a huge plus for sure to the platform. I hope the sound is okay. Normally is okay, and today it's gonna be the Queen's Gambit Film Club episode 2. Title is Exchanges. Episode 1 happened a week ago on Friday on Twitch, but I decided that today I'm gonna live stream it to YouTube, hoping some people interested to talk about the series will join me. Let's see. In the meantime, I'm just checking in to see if I'm sure people will join slowly. The Queen's Gambit, a little bit about myself, first of all, to those who haven't met me yet and would want to know why am I having a YouTube channel around chess. So I used to play chess for 12 years, and I say professional chess because it was a situation where I had coaching and I played tournaments, and my whole childhood was involved around chess, really. All the weekends with tournaments. It's like with any other sport, really. You just, go for trainings, go to tournaments, have team tournaments, individual ones. So there are many, many different aspects of chess, just like to any sport. And so from the age of 6 to the age of 18, I was playing quite intensely. And then I played a few more tournaments until the age of 20, but then I went to university and then I started working and I just completely left the chess world behind until 2020, where work and life and pandemic and 2020 happened. So I got an opportunity to do some chess coaching for kids, and then Queen's Gambit came out and I watched it, and that reaffirmed the fact that chess is such a unique sport and that I should take it back as an adult now and see, what can I do, how could I help people to really enjoy it. By the way, if anyone joined, please say hi in the comment section because I'm curious who is here. And so yeah, that's when I started taking chess up again and started creating content around education for beginners. I aim to help beginners to get to know the rules, enjoy the games, see chess as not only a sport, but a very special language which you can speak with anybody else, no matter where the other person is from in the world. If you both know the rules of chess, you can play against each other. And online nowadays, this happens very often. So that's excellent. I believe I have 2 viewers. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Please let me know in the comment section who are you, because at the moment I can't see at all. But yeah, that was just shortly about myself. So I do have a Twitch channel where I broadcast lessons. I have a YouTube channel where I'm planning to do more broadcasting and videos. And I'm also present on Instagram. And let me leave in the chat my username everywhere. It's Clone Rosie. I just left it at the chat now, so I hope you can see it. And yeah, I believe we will start. How about we start? Can I ask you, if you are watching, please say hi in the comment section. I'm curious who is here. And please let me know if you can hear me well, if you can see me well. Hopefully you will see what I'm showing on the screen as well. So let's hope it all works out. And we are going to begin because I created a slideshow. So you will see that we are going to talk today about episode number 2, and the title is Exchanges. Episode 1 was called Openings. And those of you who are who don't know much about chess, openings are a part in a chess game. It's the beginning part where you start, and openings, you can learn them from the book, and then you start the free play, for example. Exchanges are referring to the pieces when they get exchanged on the board. So these are all chess references at the same time. So I'm going to click through, and just a quick catch up. What happened? So in the first episode, Beth sneaks into the cupboard where they keep all the pills and steals the huge jar while the others are watching a movie. And right at the beginning of episode 2, Beth gets caught with this huge jar, and she stuffed her face with all the pills, and she collapses and breaks the jar. And basically, we learn that Beth gets caught, and then Jolene is super intrigued. She's asking her, "Oh, how did it feel to take all those pills?" But Beth gets punished. She's not allowed to play chess. Mr. Scheibel doesn't want to talk to her, which is sad because they were getting really close. And she's banned, of course, from tournaments and everything. But Beth just regains this whole new sense of determination to learn more chess. So she mentions that she wants to memorize the whole Sicilian Defense opening. And the title, Queen's Gambit, is another opening. Sicilian Defense is again a bit of a different opening. I actually created a slide just to show to those who have never seen chessboard ever before that this is an opening which begins with white moves the pawn to e4, then black responds with c5, and that's one of the most popular opening with black because it creates basically a situation where black has chances to attack. So big players enjoy playing this one with black. And actually, I used to play with black a Caro-Kann opening, which was e4 and then c6, but I decided I'm gonna learn the Sicilian better because it's a very interesting concept. I hope to win some games in it in the future. I have been playing it online so far and it works pretty well. I found this definition on Wikipedia. I left it there, and you see the chessboard right next to it. And that's basically how it looks, the first few moves at the Sicilian Defense. H3D is in the house. Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for joining. Can you hear me well and can you see me well? Please let me know. I would love to know. I hope so. Okay, moving on. That was the Sicilian Defense, which is mentioned at the beginning. And then we see that time passes and suddenly Beth is 15 years old. She's hanging out with Jolene at the orphanage. Jolene has quite a few references to the racial inequality in those times, and I'm sure we do know that unfortunately racial discrimination was pretty present even nowadays, but back in the day as well. So she does mention some references about that. Then they look out the window. Thanks, H3D, so much. Then they do look out the window and they see a car coming, and it's Alma and Alston who visit the orphanage with the aim to adopt a child. And they basically end up picking Beth. Here there was a very interesting interaction where the head of the orphanage lies and says Beth is 13, while the truth is that she was already 15, but she tries to make her look a bit younger. I believe, and they do reference it in the first episode, that the older a child got, the least chances they had to get adopted, unfortunately. Here I've put a picture of Alma. Alma is a very staple and very big figure throughout the series, and that's the first time we see her. She's beautiful, I think. I love her character. I feel like the actress played her amazingly. But I'm wondering, what did you guys think of Alma in this episode? How does she come across to you? Feel free to leave that in the chat. And if anyone watches afterwards, feel free to leave it in the comments. I do know that one of my viewers really likes Alma, and she's their favorite character. And I think I just love the way she represents so many different emotions, so many different life stages, and people can really relate to her, I believe. Jolene is sad, undeniably sad about Beth getting adopted, for sure. But she tries to hide it and tries to play the tough girl, but she's definitely bitter about it. As Beth is packing up her suitcase, she can't find the book that she received from Mr. Scheibel, and first she kind of accuses Jolene, but she takes offense by that, but she can't find it anywhere, so she just has to pack up and gets in the car with Alma and Alston, and Mr. Scheibel is at the door to wave goodbye. I found this part really upsetting because they never got to play another game, Beth and Mr. Scheibel, and they kind of say goodbye in a bad situation, not a great state between them. Arriving to the new house, Beth's life kind of seems to be turning around. As this house, I watched the episode yesterday again, and like this blue, huge, the garden, the lawn, everything is perfect. Just seems very perfect, shiny, expensive on the outside, but the energy is very tense already between her adoptive parents, unfortunately. Yeah, now a bit describing the new reality. Alma's and Mr. Wheatley's marriage is in pieces. Beth calls her adoptive father Mr. Wheatley. Mr. Wheatley works a lot away, so again he leaves them alone for a few weeks, and that's when Beth sees for the first time how Alma plays the piano, and her miscarriage comes up as well, which is really sad. You can really see a lot of emotions in Alma's, the way she speaks about it a little bit, not too much. So I believe Beth was shocked that they already had a child. She expected they couldn't or they didn't have one. Beth also goes to her new school for the first time, and as you can imagine, she gets bullied pretty badly. What I noted that was very interesting is that in the classroom where she sits, only they make her just space just about in the last row where there is a lot of clutter. So it's like if they swiped the table a bit clean, and that was Beth's space. And it reminded me of when she arrived to the orphanage, and the only bed they could provide for her was next to the toilet. So it was just kind of like, I feel like it was kind of showing that she's kind of, when how would you word this? She's kind of like just left there, and just like an intruder, like, oh, a nuance, like nobody expected her, all sorts, like these kind of thoughts came up. The girls in her class are super mean about her outfit, about the fact that she's very smart and she answers questions in class. That was something definitely relatable, I'm sure, to many of us, that unfortunately kids can be mean, and young adults as well, teenagers, especially when the hormones are all over the place. So she is desperately looking for solstice or like some kind of escape in trying to find a chess club in the school or nearby or something like that. She's having lunch alone, but then a girl joins her. She asks the girl if there was a chess club in school, and she says no, she never heard such a thing. She could be a cheerleader or join the any one of these groups. I know in the US it's quite popular to have these kind of social clubs. So, but clearly Beth is not truly interested in that. So she even goes to the library and asks if they have a chess book, and they actually did have one about Jose Capablanca. It's a very fun part of the scene when she's like, who? And the librarian knows that he was a big grandmaster, and she refers to him as a genius, which was cool. Then suddenly Mr. Whitley comes back, and I found it so funny, that part where basically, hi Smart Guy, hello, welcome, thanks for joining. Where Mr. Whitley comes back and Beth is like smoking and in like a casual nightgown style hoovering, and she swears and runs up to get changed. So clearly she's kind of relaxing way more when Mr. Wheatley is away. Question: what do you guys think about Alma's and Mr. Wheatley's relationship? What did you notice right here at the beginning? What do you think is going on? We already know that they had a miscarriage. We already know that Mr. Wheatley is away a lot. What is everyone thinking? How is that going and evolving? Let me know in the chat. And thanks everyone for posting and joining. I find that it's very interesting to watch their relationship, because it reminded me of, when there is a bad relationship and sometimes couples think that just by having a baby or having a child, the relationship will become better. And it's actually not the case. And most of the time, it's actually the opposite. The relationship even gets more separated. Smart Guy says she's scared of him, and it looked like they were drifting apart. Exactly. And it seemed to me like, adopting Beth was kind of like a last cry from Alma, especially because it does become clear that Alma was the one who really wanted to adopt a child. Unfortunately, it has been like quite evident. Dragos, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining as well. Nice to have you. And feel free to leave your opinions in the chat. I believe you commented on the first episode that your favorite character was Alma. So, yeah, we were just talking about her and her relationship with Mr. Wheatley. Beth asks for a chess set when Alma and Beth goes clothes shopping, but Beth kind of Alma dismisses Beth, which was a bit upsetting. I remember when I watched that for the first time, I was a bit disappointed in Alma, but I guess at this stage she doesn't really understand why is it so important for Beth to practice chess. So later on she will get it more. In return, as kind of a revenge, when Alma sends Beth for her medication, Beth steals a chess magazine. She thinks she's very smart here, right? But thanks to this chess magazine, she notices an advertisement for a chess tournament with a prize. And since Alma says that she has hardly any money left, Beth decides to write to Mr. Scheibel to ask for the entrance fee or registering fee, which is $5, and she promises to give him back 10 if she wins the tournament. Dragos says, I think also Alma's husband wanted to adopt Beth because he was knowing that soon he will leave Alma and he didn't want to let Alma alone. That's such a good point. That's absolutely very, very possible, Dragos. And he kind of already was very withdrawn from her, from the relationship. So yeah, I agree 100%. The question I have right now is, who remembers how much money was the first prize and the second prize of the big open tournament? Feel free to leave it in the chat. It's easy for me because I watched it again last night, but in case you watched this ages ago, maybe it's going to be a bit harder to remember. But maybe somebody will know. Hopefully. I will see the chat. Feel free to leave it in the chat. In the meantime, it's important to note that Beth meets again her favorite best friend, the green pill. Dragos says, I think $250 for first. So Dragos, it was $100 for first, and then 50 for the second prize, but that's just for the big openings. Oh, I didn't put the 50 here. There we go. Yeah, 100 for first, Mars guy. Yeah, exactly. So important to note, but Beth encounters the magic green pill again because that's the tranquilizer that Alma takes. And Alma mentions a lot that she needs some tranquility. And, the tranquilizers mixed with some alcohol, I guess she's constantly in kind of a haze. And at this stage, she doesn't really realize when Beth even does this exchange that Mr. Scheibel sent her money and she kind of registers for the tournament. Like Alma is a bit out of it at this stage. Unfortunately, Beth gets hooked on the pill again. So she starts again hallucinating at night and she sees the board again on the ceiling. She even cuts up her beautiful bed frame just so she can see the pieces. Beth receives the money, as we said, and attends the tournament, even though she faces quite a few harder steps and some discrimination because she's a female and she's also unrated in the chess world. Here I mentioned that the official rating by the International Chess Federation was in those times as well. I'm sure the rules were different, but somebody had to play a few of those rated tournaments to be qualifying with a rating as well. Does any of you watching have an official rating from the FIDE Chess Federation? I'm just curious to know. I will share here that mine, when I stopped competing, it was 2080. Now, for example, to become a chess grandmaster, you need at least 2,500. So the big chess grandmasters have minimum of 2,500, and there are other requirements as well. But yeah, just to put it into comparison. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So far, anybody has any questions or anything they noticed or they would like to share? Let me know. Dragos has an ELO and the Danish rating in Classic and Blitz. That's amazing. That's fantastic. And how much is your ELO? Would you share it? Smart Guy doesn't have one. Nowadays, the thing is that real life chess tournaments are not happening right now as much, at least, or in Europe, at least as far as I'm aware. So after we will be able to do real life 3D chess tournaments again, hopefully some of us can get back to them. I would love to play a couple more now as an adult. It would be a different experience for sure compared to as a child. Okay, so on the next slide, we are going more into the tournaments, and it's very interesting. I think even to those of you guys who haven't attended a real life tournament, I just found the creators of the film really represented perfectly how a tournament would go, how the chess boards were laid out. There is a chess clock and a piece of paper where they take the notes. I just found it honestly really well made, and I can tell that they must have researched and asked experts how to do all these setups. Also, I've seen a behind the scene video where they mentioned that when they filmed the players play, it wasn't just a setup, so pretending they are playing, they were actually playing the game, and that's how they were filmed. That's why it seems very realistic. Dragos has 1,552, Danish rating in Classic is 1,521, and in Rapid 1,727. That's so cool, really, really cool. I didn't realize there was separately Danish rating, but that's really, really interesting. You only started 2 years ago with rated tournaments, Dragos. That's fantastic. And imagine all this time that you are practicing online. I'm sure that next time you go back to a real life tournament, you will really reap the benefits of the practice during lockdown. So well done. Very good. So interestingly, surprisingly, first of all, the twin boys are trying to convince Beth to go for the unrated section and not the big open, but then she was like, no, how much is the price for that? In her mind, it's the price, $100. She wants to get it. So she gets paired up with the only other woman player, Annette Packer, and basically Beth, it's so awkward. She's asking like, what do I do with the clock? What is this paper for? So actually she can thank Annette for a lot, because she explains to her how the clock works, how to note down the moves, everything. So it's actually very, very interesting. And here actually I created this slide for the previous episode 1, but I decided to add it here as well. To those who don't know how to note down the chess moves, it's kind of important, especially if you want to read any game from any past big games, any big grandmasters. I created a little example. So the way you would write, for example, a king move is K, and then you look for the letter and then the number of the square. So K, C4, that's king to C4. Annette was really cool. I agree. Like, she's just such a heartwarming character. There is not a bad bone in her, in my opinion. So that was super nice. So yeah, here you see kind of how to put together the chess moves, but heading back, Beth basically completely sweeps aside Annette on the chessboard, but she's very kind to her. And quickly, Beth powers through her first 4 opponents with ease. She wins all the games. Her 5th match, however, is against Towns, who the 2 organizer guys refer to as an underrated player. So, and he's the guy who Beth sees for the first time at the tournament and kind of gets really excited about. So he is a very handsome chap, not gonna lie. I don't blame Beth for liking Towns, but it's just very interesting how she's now from a child becoming a true teenager, and how her personality evolves, her interest in fashion, she's very witty and smart, and her interest in boys, I guess, starts to form. What do you guys think about Towns? Do you like him as his character at this stage? I know we will find out more going forward, but I just found it very sweet how I'm sure he can sense that Beth likes him, and he kind of is intrigued by her because how well she plays chess, but he's clearly quite a bit older compared to Beth. Let me know in the chat, what do you guys think about Towns? Okay, back to the slides. So Towns, when she beats him, because she beats him, a huge crowd gathers around them. They even have a fun discourse. Usually when you play at a normal tournament, you shouldn't be talking to your opponent. Now, back in the day, I'm sure these rules were more loose, but like when I was playing tournaments, there is complete silence in the chess room and no one should really talk. And it's not fair to it's not really fair to to just to distract your opponent. Basically, I'm just seeing Dragos says everybody liked him until we found out that he's gay and not for Beth. I mean, it's not clear that he was gay. He was just discovering his sexuality, and it was fine. As like, it's just Beth. He kind of misled Beth a little bit, but let's not give too much spoilers. We will get there. But yeah, I like him. I think he's a very good guy. And at the end, he shows a true friendship as well. So I'm not going to say any more about that. So after beating Towns, she feels very weird and she knows something is up with herself. So she runs to the bathroom and she notices that her period just started for the very first time. And Annette runs after her, which is very nice of her because Annette is helping her. She gives her pads. It's just this part is important to show that Beth had still not such a relationship with Alma to like she hasn't learned what to do in this case and so on and so on, because at the beginning of her adoption they lied about her age. Alma also thinks she's way younger than what it is, but she's actually older. So yeah, that was interesting, I found. Okay, I showed you this, the language of chess. I think it's very cool to look into how to note down your moves. And yeah, this tournament goes on for 2 days. I believe it was 2 days. So in between, we see that Alma's addiction to the pills, she's completely in a haze. She doesn't really know what's up. And the whole problem stems from Mr. Wheatley being stuck at work indefinitely at first. And then basically Alma realizes that he will never come back. So as you say, Dragos, he was probably planning his exit from the marriage and he actually did it. And so the girls decide to lie about their situation, not to tell anyone and pretend everything is fine. And Alma at this stage promises to try and be a good mother to her, which is a beautiful moment. And I really like that their relationship hopefully will grow closer. Then next step towards the end of the episode is that we see that the final arrives where Beth is competing against Baltic, who is the champion of the state, I believe it's Kentucky's state championship, and he won the championship before, and Beth is challenging him. Now, Baltic, as well as the opponent before against Beth, they are so annoying. So the earlier opponent is like constantly brushing his hair, and Baltic is making super annoying noises. What did you guys think about this part? Did you notice it was super unprofessional, super against any um, like good sportsmanship? What did you guys think about that part? I'm just gonna see. Wait a minute. Have a sip of drink. We'll see if anyone has any comments. Um, yeah, Baltic arrives late, so that already sends Beth through the roof with anger and arrogantly yawns and really mocks her. And I believe it also shows this kind of male vs a female kind of approach and how it used to be. And even when I was playing, lots of males couldn't stand to lose against a female. They were too good. Yes, says a smart guy. Very true. I agree. Beth is super determined to beat him, but things don't actually go that well at the beginning. You can tell she's suffering, and suddenly all we see is that she starts crying. And I thought that was um, very interesting and very great that the filmmakers were showing emotion and show her emotions so well. Even first, you could just see the way she moved the pieces, how angry she was. And this anger had to come out of her system. And I can relate to that. I'm a person who gets emotional quite easily, and I would just feel the tears welling up. So luckily, she runs out to the bathroom and lets it all out and decides to pop a green pill again. And basically what happens at the beginning, it doesn't go so well, the game, but then she manages to turn it around. She is mocking Batik, really in a very witty conversation over the chessboard. Again, remember that nowadays it wouldn't be really allowed, or it wouldn't mean a good sportsmanship at all. And Beth has the match won, but they do play it until the end because Baltic would refuse to give up. By that time, you can see on the picture as well, there is this huge crowd around them, and it's a big sensation that Beth did beat the champion and she became the new state champion. That was her very first official tournament, so that was pretty impressive. And that basically sums up the second episode. She also of course gets the prize, gets the $100 and goes shopping. I didn't include that on the slides, but towards the end you see her shopping. She gets herself a new beautiful dress. She gets herself the chess set that she was craving for and some chess books. So it's kind of like a lovely point to end episode 1, I feel like, because we can see how she worked hard for something, she got it. And I just brought out a couple quotes from episode 2 because I thought they were really cool. So one was, back in the orphanage, Jolene is asking, "What are you going to do at night?" Young Beth answers, "I'm going to stay awake as long as I can, reading my book, learning the Sicilian Defense." There is 57 pages about it in the book, with 170 lines stemming from P to Queen B4. P to QB4. I'm going to memorize them and play through them all in my mind. So it just only shows how crazy talented, or Beth has this amazing brain that can really, really absorb lots of info. Jolene answers, poor mind. Exactly, I think the same. What do you guys think about this? Then the other one between Alma and Beth. Beth says, "I'm going to replay some of the matches in the book." Alma asks, but you don't have a board. Beth says, in my head, good mental exercise. Again, if somebody watches this and, sorry, I'm just gonna get some more light in the room. Here we go. If somebody watches this and they don't know anything about chess, it is absolutely possible to play a game in your head once you practice and have that mental visual picture of the chessboard. You would be able to play a game without looking at the chessboard. It takes a lot of practice, but please don't think for a second that you need a blue pill to pop, or any pill to pop to be able to do this. It just means a lot of practice and visualizing the 3D chessboard a lot. In the chat, H3D says, yes, poor mind. I agree. My mind hurts sometimes as well, just even learning moves and playing games. Smart Guy says, it also shows Beth's passion for chess and wanting to learn different strategies. Exactly. Sometimes, I think if I had so much passion back then when I was very active, wow. Some players have so much passion. I believe that Magnus has so much passion like Beth had. It's very true. Would you guys feel like you have so much passion for chess? Like, how much do you think you have compared to Beth? I definitely don't have as much passion as she had in the film. I will admit that, because I am interested in multiple things, so I kind of spread my attention out a lot. Smart Guy says, the green pills of knowledge. I know. I just, I hope nobody will think that you do need a drug or any substance to be able to perform well in chess. It's not true. And actually, it can really, and it will, even in the film, it's going to have a negative effect on Beth. So please don't think that ever for a second that that's the only way to play good chess. And that's the end of my presentation. I just basically wanted to show the slides I created. It's just a quick run through, and you will see that I have the YouTube channel where you're watching now, Instagram and Twitch, and I'm Clone Rosie everywhere. Just a bit of a plug for myself here. But I'm very, very curious to know, what did you guys think about episode 2? What was your key takeaways? And who is your favorite character from the whole series? Just a few questions. Feel free to type it in. I will wait. In the meantime, my favorite is Beth, because I could relate to a lot of the things she encounters, especially at this very first tournament. The way they look at her, they've never seen her. This young girl, clearly young, comes in and suddenly she's a huge talent, of course, of chess. And definitely the gender differences are very, very present, unfortunately, in the chess world, still to this day, I would say. Smart Guy, thank you so much for you to be here. Dragos says, I have to rewatch again because right now I kind of mixed up the episodes. To be fair, I would as well. I watch always the night before I do the stream. So again, just to know what was exactly included in each episode. And that's why it's cool to do a film club, because we watch something once, but there are many details which we skip over. So we don't really pay attention for the first time as much as you will for the second time. H3D's favorite character is Mr. Scheibel. Oh no, I love him too. Yeah, Dragos, I mentioned you at the beginning before you joined that somebody who follows me mentioned that their favorite is Alma. She's excellent, very good actress as well. Mr. Scheibel, I know it's such a shame he doesn't get too long or too much screen time anymore, but he is just a wonderful, wonderful father figure for Beth. And I really found the whole creation of the film beautiful, in a sense that you see the evolution of this little girl who goes through so much already in her early years, and then through the helping hands of adults she gets out, yet still being very self-destructive. So a very important part where she plays against what's his name, let me go back, she plays against Batik, yeah. And she runs out to the toilet, she sheds a tear, but she speaks really negatively about herself into the mirror. It just shows to me that her inner world is not all that happy, that chess is more an escape for her. And chess can be that for people. It can be an escape for all of us right now during these hard times. And I think that it's just important to treat it as it is. It can be a great new hobby. It can be something that is very helpful for you to switch off and just focus on something productive instead of just watching another series, or hence, well, the film clubs are here, but you know what I mean, guys. So yeah, I love Mr. Scheibel and Alma as well. So thank you for all the comments. Smart Guy, thanks as well for being here. H3D, Dragos, it was a pleasure to have you guys around. And I will end the stream and the broadcast now. I hope the quality was good. As I said at the beginning, it's my first time with StreamYard. The setup was very easy. It's a free account, so if anyone is interested to stream, try it out. It's really cool. So yeah, that's it from me for now. I'm gonna see you as well on Twitch. Don't forget to check my Twitch out. I update my stream schedule frequently. So right now I don't have any stream scheduled for this week, but I might pop in to celebrate my mouse. Maybe we should do some, actually maybe right now after this, meet me on Twitch. We will do some puzzle crushes. How is it called? The puzzle, guys, you know, when you compete with a viewer on the puzzles. That's so much fun. Anyway, if anybody watches this after, let me know in the comments down below. What did you think? And I will see you next time for episode number 3. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care. Puzzle Storm. That's it. Twitch now. As soon as I finish, I will set that up. Okay? Bye.